I pull into the Brookhaven Heritage Club parking lot, every flawless cobblestone seeming to assess my arrival. Ahead, the grand Georgian-style clubhouse rises with its gleaming white columns and manicured gardens, a monument to old Charleston money and even older traditions. My stomach tightens as I smooth down my light gray jeans. They're designer, yes, but still jeans. The navy blazer I've paired them with is sharp and tailored, my loafers genuine Italian leather. I dressed carefully, fully aware of what's waiting for me on that sunlit terrace, yet a voice inside insists, it won't be enough. It never is. I spot them before they notice me. My father, Victor, posture rigid in his linen suit. My mother, Lydia, pearls gleaming. And my sister, Celeste, looking like she stepped straight out of a country club catalog. Their faces are politely pleasant for public view, but I recognize the familiar stiffness beneath. A doorman nods as I pass. Good morning, Miss Diaz. The click of my loafers echoes through the marble foyer. Crystal chandeliers scatter light across oak-paneled walls. My parents requested this catch-up brunch, Sunday at Brookhaven, their favorite ritual for over 3 decades. Their idea, not mine. Father sees me first. His mild frown deepens as his eyes travel from my face to my shoes. Mother's lips tighten as if she's tasted something bitter. Celeste smirks, already enjoying what's about to unfold. Opal, Father says, voice carrying across the terrace. Did you forget this is a respectable establishment? I freeze. Around us, conversation falters. Silverware pauses midair. I'm not sure what you mean, I reply evenly. Mother sighs loudly. Really, Opal? Jeans? Here? They're Armani, Mother. They're denim, she snaps back. Everyone else managed to dress appropriately, Celeste adds with a smirk. You look like staff. Did you come straight from cleaning your apartment? Heads turn. Whispers ripple. A woman 2 tables away glances over, murmuring to her companion. My cheeks burn. Father waves to a waitress with authority. Excuse me, could you check the VIP list? Someone doesn't seem to belong. The waitress hesitates, glancing from him to me. I'm sorry, sir. I'll need to speak with a manager. My throat tightens. I'm 7 years old again, wearing the wrong dress at my cousin's party, bringing home a B+ while Celeste earned straight A's, choosing the wrong major, the wrong path. Always wrong. Always less. If I'm embarrassing you, I manage softly, I can leave. Father's eyes glint with satisfaction. Good. This place isn't for people who don't know how to behave. The terrace falls silent. The elegant room, all glass, light, and harbor views, now feels like a stage, and I'm the unwilling star in their show. I turn to go, shoulders tight, when a gentle hand touches my arm. Miss Diaz, says a woman in a staff uniform. Her name tag reads Mrs. Henderson. I recognize her instantly, the hostess whose husband needed expensive medication last winter when insurance refused to cover it. I'd stepped in quietly, made a few calls, covered the rest. She leans close, voice low. You once helped me when no one else would. You never said a word about it. Don't let them shame you. Some of us notice who you really are. Something shifts inside me. Subtle. Steady. My spine straightens. Thank you, Mrs. Henderson, I whisper. She nods and steps back. I turn to face my family again. Their expressions, smug and expectant, tell a familiar story. Opal Diaz, the disappointment. The one who never measures up. But maybe that story's about to change. I walk back to their table, pull out the empty chair, and sit. I believe I'll stay for brunch after all, I say, laying a napkin across my lap. I'm rather hungry. Mother's eyes widen. Celeste's smirk fades, and for the first time I can remember, Father looks momentarily unsure. I lift the menu, scanning it calmly. Today may have begun as their ambush, but something tells me it won't end that way. Father's expression darkens. His fingers drum a slow rhythm on the tablecloth, the same sound he made while reviewing my old report cards. This is completely unacceptable, he says, voice low but deliberate. Jeans at Brookhaven. In 30 years, I've never seen such disregard for standards. Mother dabs at her mouth. Victor, perhaps we should speak with management. This reflects poorly on all of us. I agree, Celeste adds, smoothing her peach dress. The dress code exists for a reason. Father stands abruptly, towering, commanding instant attention. He spots a staff member and signals sharply. Excuse me, we need to see management immediately. The floor manager approaches, Kendra Holt, Mid-40s, composed, efficient. Her tone is measured. "Good morning, sir. How may I assist?" Father gestures toward me without looking. "This young woman shouldn't be here." "Call the owner!" Celeste folds her arms, smug again. Someone's about to be escorted out. My pulse quickens, but Mrs. Henderson's voice echoes in my mind. "Don't let them shame you." Kendra doesn't flinch. "I understand there's a concern. I'll bring Miss Sloan, our executive director, to address it." "Good," Mother says, adjusting her pearl necklace. Someone must uphold the standards. Sunlight catches on her diamonds, flashing off the flawless set, the jewelry, the cream suit, the polished certainty of her world. While we wait, Father launches into his usual lecture. "This is exactly the problem with your generation. Opal, no respect for institutions or tradition." I stay silent, taking a slow sip of water. "Your sister knows proper conduct. She married well, dresses well, and behaves as she should." Celeste beams at the compliment. "Jackson and I are still waiting to hear if our membership application will be approved," she says. "Maybe, if certain relatives didn't cause scenes, things would move faster," Mother remarks, patting Celeste's hand. "The committee will see your merit, dear." Each subtle jab lands. I record them quietly. The same old family performance. Victor, the patriarch, obsessed with image and prestige. Lydia, the enabler, driven by appearances more than affection. Celeste, the perfect child, married to a corporate attorney and always following the prescribed path. And me, Opal, the disappointment. Across the room, I spot Nora Sloan approaching. Her movements are precise. Her burgundy suit signals authority without showiness. Behind her walks Maggie Adams, her assistant, holding a leather portfolio. From the corner, Mrs. Henderson observes discreetly, her presence oddly comforting. "Good morning," Nora says evenly. "I'm Nora Sloan, Executive Director of Brookhaven. I understand there's been an issue." "The owner is actually here today." Father straightens, buttoning his jacket. "Then bring the owner here. Let's see what they think about the dress code." Nora's tone stays calm. "I've already spoken with the owner." "And?" Father presses. Nora looks directly at me, her expression respectful. "Miss Diaz is the legal owner of Brookhaven." The words hit like a thunderclap. Mother's fork slips, clattering onto the china. Celeste's jaw drops. Father freezes mid-motion. I meet Nora's gaze and nod slightly. "Perhaps we should continue this in your office, Nora." "Of course, Miss Diaz." "This is ridiculous," Father sputters, his face reddening. "What kind of joke is this?" I stand smoothing my blazer. "It's not a joke, Father. You can't possibly own Brookhaven," Mother whispers, scanning nearby tables to see who's listening. "Follow me." "Please," Nora says, motioning toward the main building. Celeste grabs my arm. "What are you doing? You'll embarrass all of us." "No," I say quietly, removing her hand. "That was your specialty today." We follow Nora through the hall lined with portraits of Charleston's founders, their painted eyes heavy with judgment. Nora's office mirrors her demeanor. Neat, tasteful, efficient. She gestures toward the conference table, where Maggie has already arranged folders. "Please, have a seat." Father stays standing. I demand an explanation. Maggie opens the portfolio. "The documents are clear, sir. Brookhaven Heritage Club was purchased 9 months ago for $16.4 million as a distressed property, after prior financial issues. The buyer," Nora continues, "was Diaz Leisure Holdings LLC, managed by Miss Opal Diaz. There are currently $6.7 million in renovations underway." Celeste shakes her head. "That's impossible. You can barely manage your own life. How could you? You just tried to remove the owner from her own property," I interrupt, steady though my pulse pounds. "Maybe consider that before continuing." Father collapses into a chair, pale. Mother studies the papers as if they might rewrite themselves. Celeste glares. Stunned and betrayed, for 31 years, their expectations defined me, expectations I could never meet, the quiet tech girl. The disappointment. The one who'd never amount to much. Now, sitting across from them with their judgment stripped of power, I feel something new. Freedom. Father's face reddens as he scans the paperwork. "This has to be an error." He slams his palm on the desk. "I'll have my lawyer review every line of this so-called sale." Nobody buys Brookhaven quietly. I stay seated, hands folded. The old knot of fear in my stomach has solidified into resolve. There's no mistake, Father. The deal was private, at the previous owner's request. Mother leans forward, pearls swinging. You can't possibly run something like this. It's a Charleston institution. The obligations, the reputation, which I've managed for 9 months without anyone noticing, I reply. Including you. Celeste circles the office. You did this to embarrass us, didn't you? We've been members for 30 years and you bought it just to prove a point? I bought a distressed asset as an investment, I say evenly. That it happened to be Brookhaven was coincidence. Father narrows his eyes. How could you afford $16 million? His tone implies something underhanded. My tech startup sold last year. I've been diversifying. The room falls silent. I never told them about the sale, and they never asked. The quiet stretches filled with decades of disregard. I turn to Nora. What does the rule book say about member conduct? She answers without hesitation. Article 7.2 covers actions that damage the club's reputation, including public disturbances or behavior that embarrasses members. And the procedure? Incidents are documented with witness statements. A temporary suspension can be issued immediately, followed by committee review within 14 days. Then let's follow it exactly, I say. Maggie nods, taking notes. Father laughs sharply. This is absurd. We're founding members. You're members who broke club policy, I correct. Status doesn't grant immunity. I rise, calm settling in. For 31 years, I've walked on eggshells under their scrutiny. Now, ownership of this club and myself changes everything. For 31 years, I begin, voice steady. I've allowed you to treat me as less than Celeste. Less than your expectations, less than deserving of respect. Mother's expression crumples into practiced concern. That's not true. We only wanted what was best. Today you tried to remove me from my own property, I interrupt. Not for breaking rules, but for not fitting your image. Father stands towering over me. Watch your tone, young lady. That ends today, I continue. Your membership privileges are suspended, effective immediately. You can't do this. I am. I press the intercom. Nora, please come in. She enters with Maggie and a folder of documents. Mrs. Henderson follows, eyes steady. Mrs. Henderson, I ask, would you provide a statement about what you witnessed? Gladly, Ms. Diaz, she replies. I saw Mr. and Mrs. Diaz publicly belittling their daughter and attempting to have her removed. Mrs. Renner was involved as well. The doors open. 2 security officers step inside. Record the minutes, I instruct. Issue a 30-day interim suspension for all 3 pending committee review. Understood, Nora says. The file will go to the Compliance and Discipline Committee within 14 days. You'll oversee it personally to avoid conflict of interest, I add. This is outrageous, Father protests. I've been a member here longer than you've been alive. Then you've had plenty of time to learn the rules, I reply, gesturing to the officers. These gentlemen will accompany you to collect your belongings from the locker rooms and then escort you to your vehicles. Mother's tears fall freely. You can't do this to your own family. I'm not doing anything to you, I correct her calmly. I'm enforcing the same rules you've expected everyone else to follow for years. Maggie hands each of them a formal notice of suspension. Celeste crushes hers in her hand. You're making a terrible mistake, she hisses. I shake my head. For once, I'm not. The security officers step forward, polite but firm. If you'll come with us, please. Father hesitates, jaw tight, but after a moment he buttons his jacket with unsteady fingers. As they near the door, I speak one last time. No one deserves disrespect for not wearing designer clothes or for not fitting someone else's definition of belonging. That applies to everyone who walks into Brookhaven, member or staff. When they're gone, I sink into my chair. The room is quiet except for the ticking of the antique clock. Through the window, I watch them cross the parking lot, Mother leaning on Father's arm, Celeste storming ahead. 31 years of judgment, dismissal, and conditional love. Shrinking in the distance, Mrs. Henderson reappears with a cup of coffee and sets it before me. Well done. Miss Diaz, I wrap my hands around the warm cup. Thank you. Not just for that, she gestures toward the door. For what you did for my husband last winter. You never mentioned it or asked for anything in return. I shrug lightly. It was simply the right thing to do. She nods, understanding what I leave unsaid. Some acts of kindness don't need recognition. My family never understood that. The realization hits me like a wave. My whole life, I've been chasing their approval. Building a startup, earning millions, buying this club, all to prove I was worthy of love that should have been unconditional. But I never needed it. Not their validation. Not their approval. Not their version of love filled with terms and judgment. I take a slow sip of coffee, the warmth spreading through my chest. Outside, their car pulls away, leaving 3 empty spaces behind. For the first time since morning, I breathe freely. 2 nights later, my phone buzzes for the 11th time. I leave it face down on the nightstand, its blue light flashing like an irritated pulse in the dark. The clock reads 11:42 p.m. Celeste's name glows on the screen again. I already know what she's saying. The same message, just rephrased with more desperation. Curiosity wins. I check the text. You can't do this. Think about what people will say. People. Always people. The invisible jury of Charleston society that spent a lifetime reminding me I was never enough. I scroll through the rest. 3 missed calls from Mother, 2 from Father, 7 texts from Celeste, and 1 email from Father titled Legal Notice. Mother's voicemail plays next, her voice trembling with practiced panic. Your father's blood pressure is through the roof. Is that what you wanted? To send him to the hospital? Call me back immediately. My thumb hovers over the screen. That old familiar knot tightens in my stomach, the reflex born of 30 years of family guilt. But instead, I turn the phone off completely. The screen goes black. Silence fills the room. For the first time in years, I sleep without interruption. The next morning, sunlight spills through my windows as my attorney, Amara Ramirez, arrives. Her charcoal suit and composed demeanor match the neat stack of papers she sets on the counter. Coffee? I ask, pouring her a cup. Black? Thank you. She takes the mug and opens her portfolio. I've reviewed everything. Your actions comply fully with both Brookhaven's bylaws and South Carolina law. I exhale, realizing I'd been holding my breath. They have no grounds to sue, she adds, sliding a paper toward me. The suspension follows proper protocol. The committee will reach its decision independently. My father has powerful friends, I remind her, the weight of old power games lingering in my tone. Friends don't override bylaws or surveillance footage, she replies evenly. My advice, document everything, but make no public comments. I nod, stirring my coffee. Archive everything. This isn't about humiliation, no? She asks, brow raised slightly. It's about accountability, I clarify. Something my family's never faced. Later that day, Nora calls. Your father's been busy, she says flatly. He's already reached out to 3 board members. And? Turns out most don't even know him personally, she says, a hint of satisfaction in her tone. 2 even asked why a suspended member was contacting them about an ongoing disciplinary case. I rest my hand against the cool glass of my office window, gazing out over Charleston Harbor. Has he made any threats? Not directly, but Maggie overheard him in the parking lot yesterday, loudly complaining on his phone about incompetent management and family favoritism in Colombia. A message from Celeste flashes on my laptop through the synced app. Marshall won't get involved. Says you've gone too far this time. Hope you're satisfied. Marshall, Celeste's husband and the family's standby attorney, has made his position clear. Has my mother contacted anyone? I ask. Her lunch group canceled yesterday, Nora replies. And the Harrington-Wilson Charity Committee meeting was suddenly postponed. Her tone stays professional, but the implication is obvious. Lydia Diaz's circle seems to have developed a few scheduling conflicts. And my father's attorney? He called this morning, she says. Asked for the surveillance footage. Once informed it was already secured as evidence, he advised against further discussion. His words were, "The evidence is clear." I end the call and walk. Through my apartment to the balcony, overlooking the historic district buildings from the 1700s, stand beside sleek new ones, old and modern coexisting. Despite their differences. The next morning, I reach Brookhaven earlier than usual. Staff members greet me with polite nods. Not the cautious fear they once showed my father, but something genuine. Mrs. Henderson joins me on the terrace, where breakfast is being served to early guests. The staff lounge is buzzing about what happened, she says. Refilling my water glass. Good kind of buzz or bad? Good, very good. She lowers her voice. For years, your family treated employees like they were invisible. The way your father spoke to Rosa last month? Now people see that respect matters here. Does it bother anyone that I suspended my own family? Quite the opposite, Mrs. Henderson says firmly. It shows no one is above the rules, like not even the owner's family. As I finish breakfast, a few members stop by to introduce themselves properly for the first time. An older gentleman shakes my hand and says simply, "About time someone remembered what this place was built for. Community, not cruelty." 2 weeks later, the Compliance and Discipline Committee finishes its investigation with methodical care. Witness accounts, CCTV footage, and unreported incidents involving my relatives fill the files, cases staff had been too afraid to document before. Their decision arrives in a sealed envelope on my desk one Wednesday morning, permanent membership revocation for Victor and Lydia Diaz. Associate status terminated for Celeste Renner. 30 days to appeal. I sign the letters myself. My hand steady and deliberate. That evening, driving home along the Battery, I pass Charleston's old waterfront homes. Generations watching tides rise and fall. Change here is slow, they say. Traditions endure. Family names carry weight, but sometimes the tide shifts fast, sweeping away what once felt unshakable. My phone rings. The appeal window has opened. No one appeals. A week later, I ride the glass elevator to my office, the harbor stretching out below. Usually I enjoy this view, collecting my thoughts before the day begins. Not today. The knot in my stomach tightens when the doors open. Celeste is pacing the reception area. "You're early," I say, stepping out. She turns sharply. Her eyes are red, her hair messy, something I've never seen before. Celeste without perfect hair feels strangely out of place. "This couldn't wait," she says, voice shaking. "You have to stop this, Opal. Face beacon care." My assistant Danny looks up. I motion toward my office. "Let's talk privately." Inside, Celeste collapses into a chair, her composure gone. "Mom hasn't left the house in weeks," she blurts out, tears spilling. Dad's devastated. His blood pressure's through the roof. Doctor added new meds. "That's unfortunate," I say, arms crossed. "Unfortunate?" She jumps up, voice rising. "The Thompsons uninvited them from their gala. Dad's golf partners suddenly have conflicts. Mom's charity board told her to take a break. You've ruined our reputation." "Those are consequences, Celeste, not revenge. Is it worth it? Destroying our name?" Her hands tremble. "The Diaz name used to mean something here, I mutter, until you humiliated our parents." "I didn't humiliate anyone," I reply. "They did that themselves. Do you even hear yourself? After everything they sacrificed for us." "What exactly did they sacrifice?" I ask quietly. "They gave us everything," she insists. "They gave us things," I correct. "Not support. Not acceptance." My phone buzzes, but I ignore it. "This isn't just about them," she says quickly. "Uncle Robert called. Aunt Patricia, too. Pastor Williams wants to meet about forgiveness, healing this family." "How convenient that concern appears now," I say. "Because they care." She protests. "Richard Holbrook offered to mediate. Dad's golf buddy? The same man who mocked my company as playing with computers? The Family Peace Committee is a little late." The phone buzzes again. Celeste glances at it, then back at me. "You've made your point," she says softly. "Everyone sees your power now. Isn't that enough?" Her words cut deeper than she realizes. Is that what I'm doing? Using power simply because I can? The question lingers, heavy and cold. "I need to take this call," I say, reaching for my phone. "We can finish this later." Celeste grabs her purse. "Just remember, when you're sitting alone in that big empty club, we'll still be your family." Her words linger long after she's gone. That night, alone in my apartment, I stare at the framed photos on my bookshelf. A Diaz family portrait from when I was 10, Celeste and I in matching dresses, Mother's hand gripping my shoulder, Father standing tall behind us. I lift the frame, tracing my younger face through the glass. Was I too harsh? The lifelong pressure to keep the family peace presses heavily on my chest. My hand hovers over my phone. One call to Celeste could ease this tension, one apology, one compromise. Everything would go back to normal, but at what price? I set the photo down and pull out a worn leather-bound book from my bottom drawer, my childhood diary. Its pages are yellowed, handwriting maturing from uneven scrawl to neat. Precision, October 12, 2003, Dad said my science fair project was adequate. Even though I won first place, June 8, 2008, Mom told Grandma Wilson, I finally looked presentable at graduation. Everyone laughed. May 15, 2015, college graduation. Mom said, at least you finished. Dad grumbled about missing golf. December 21st, 2019. Told them about my venture capital funding. Celeste changed the subject to her husband's promotion. Dad said, playing with computers isn't real work. Each entry reveals the same quiet cruelty. No shouting, no drama, just years of small dismissals that chipped away at my confidence. I close the diary, resolve hardening inside me. No more, I whisper. Their problems aren't mine to carry. 3 days later, we meet at a neutral spot, a private dining room at the Carlton downtown. I arrive early, choosing a seat facing the door. Father enters first, commanding as ever. With Mother and Celeste behind him, he doesn't sit. This has gone on long enough, he declares. I stay seated. Hello to you too, Father, Mother dabs at her eyes. After everything we've done for you, Opal, all our sacrifices. You've always been selfish, Celeste adds. But this time you've gone too far. Their words pile up like waves before a storm. I let them crash and fade, saying nothing. When the room finally quiets, I speak evenly. I understand that's how you see me. Father frowns. This isn't the reaction he expected. I'm not here to argue, I continue. The decision stands. Now see here. Father starts, but I cut him off. This meeting is a courtesy, not an obligation. Mother's voice trembles. Where will we go? Everyone knows what happened. You're welcome to join other clubs, I reply calmly. Charleston has plenty. You can't just abandon us. Celeste protests. Our relationship moving forward is up to you, I say, but it will be built on mutual respect, or not at all. I stand, smoothing my skirt. Father's face reddens. Mother begins to cry. Celeste looks at me as if I've changed beyond recognition. You're making a mistake, Father warns. No, I say quietly. I'm fixing one that's lasted too long. I walk out without turning back. My steps feel light despite their heavy stares. For the first time, I'm not running from my family's judgment. I'm walking towards something better. 6 months later, Brookhaven is transformed. The terrace blooms with flowers as I move between tables at our annual charity gala. No longer an outsider, I'm now the woman who revived this institution. Miss Diaz, Nora whispers, tablet in hand. Silent auction totals are already double last year's. I nod, grateful. The renovation was worth every dollar. The ballroom gleams under new chandeliers. Its walls now painted in warm cream tones instead of sterile white. Staff move with quiet purpose, their uniforms redesigned for both comfort and elegance. Membership's up 18% this quarter. Nora adds, and staff turnover is nearly zero. Numbers reveal what words can't. When I bought Brookhaven, morale was at rock bottom. Now, real smiles replace forced politeness. I pause at the terrace doorway, the same place where 6 months ago my family tried to remove me. Today, members greet me warmly. Miss Diaz, beautiful evening, says Mr. Patterson, a retired judge. Best gala in 20 years. This time, there's no hidden criticism behind the compliment. Mrs. Henderson, now our hospitality director, approaches with a proud smile. Kitchen staff wanted me to thank you for the new equipment, she says. It's made a world of difference. They deserve tools that work, I reply. She studies me. You've changed this place. People feel valued now. Her words warm something deep inside me. That was the goal, I say. We both know what remains unspoken. Victor and Lydia joined another club last month. Celeste sends the occasional text, small talk, tentative steps toward peace. The wounds are healing. Slowly. I excuse myself and climb the stairs to the balcony overlooking Charleston Harbor. The sunset turns the water gold. Below, laughter rises from the lawn. For 31 years, I chased approval that should have been freely given. I believed boundaries were selfish. I know better now. Respect isn't demanded. It's earned when you stand firm, even when it costs you. A young server, Jennifer, refills my glass, hands trembling. Everything all right? I ask. She hesitates. Miss Diaz, may I ask something? I nod toward the empty chair. My family thinks I'm wasting my life by going to college, she says quietly. They want me to stay and help with my siblings. Her voice carries a familiar weight. Your life belongs to you, I tell her gently. Their disappointment is theirs to manage, not yours. Her eyes widen. No one ever told me that. Someone should have, I say, smiling. Ask Nora about our scholarship program. After she leaves, I sip my water and watch the sun dip lower. Peace wraps around me like a soft shawl. Mrs. Henderson joins me briefly, gazing at the horizon. Justice finally came full circle, she says. Justice never left, I reply. People just forgot what it looks like. She nods and walks away. I stay, breathing in the salt air as twilight deepens. The woman standing here is not the same one who once sought her family's approval. Now I understand. My worth was never theirs to define. The light fades. I don't